Last episode saw us begin our climb up the Premier League table, an edge ever closer to our first piece of silverware after beating Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. And with a huge series of games to get through today, we're continuing our march towards glory. And as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe. And let's get into today's episode. And we are starting off by getting stuck straight into the action, facing off against a resurgent Nottingham Forest team in the Premier League. A team who find themselves all the way up to 5th place, and one that unfortunately, due to a lot of fatigue setting into the camp, one that we've had to make several enforced changes to against. Starting off with Martinez keeping his place in goal, but Sacha Bowie starts at right back, Tyrone Mings and Longley start in the centre of defence with Estupinian on the left hand side. Douglas Luiz, Yuri Tielemans are partnered by Buendia in the centre, with Zaniolo on the left hand side, Leon Bailey on the right. Ollie Watkins keeps his place up front. Wani being held up there by Tyrone Mings, who will be desperate to try and force his way back into the starting 11 after a surprise starting spot here against Nottingham Forest. He's done a really good job of winning the ball back and then goes and gives away a cheap free kick in a very dangerous position. And it's one that looks like Junior is going to just float into the penalty area here, as all the Nottingham Forest players have kept themselves in an onside position, and then he's got an absolutely ballooned it over the bar. Nice pass out to Estupinian. Estupinian looks down the line and it gets intercepted well, but Zaniolo then wins that ball back, and can he release a ball into Ollie Watkins? It was a poor ball, but he's going to try and release a ball into the on-rushing Leon Bailey. Doesn't manage to, but we do manage to just about keep the ball alive. Zaniolo looking for the overlap, finds Estupinian. Estupinian fire it into the box. This time finds Leon Bailey, who just puts it over the bar. But it's been an up and down start here in the opening 15 minutes at the Forest ground, but neither team able to break the deadlock here. But we are pressing Nottingham Forest high as Zaniolo tries to win the ball back from Serge Aurier, and he gives the ball away in response to Ollie Watkins, who's in the box. Ollie Watkins to strike straight at the goalkeeper. Another big let off for Forest. Down the left-hand side into the former Chelsea man Hudson-Odoi. He gets chased down by Sacha Bowie, but manages to wriggle away from him, and eventually the Frenchman does manage to win the ball back. Leon Bailey can get there ahead of the Nottingham Forest defenders, and now he can bring the ball forward. Can I try and release Ollie Watkins? Yes, I can. Into the box. Ollie Watkins off the post. How on earth have we not taken the lead here? Out to Estupinian on the left-hand side. Cuts it back into Buendia. Nice little one-touch back into Estupinian. Back into the box. Ollie Watkins this time takes too long with his shot, and the Nottingham Forest defenders just about managed to get the ball clear. What on earth is happening here? We just have not found our shooting boots, as now Hudson-Odoi tries to stretch his legs down the left-hand side. Cuts it back to Awani. End-to-end stuff here. Mangala now slows the play down. Finds Nuno Tavares. He finds Hudson-Odoi, who's then challenged by Sacha Bowie. Wins the ball back. Nottingham Forest still have the opportunity to get themselves into the lead. Tyrone Mings with a block. Awani, what a save from Martinez. Oh my word, I'm struggling to catch my breath here in the opening 35 minutes here of our first game of this episode, and what a start it has been. Danilo on the edge of the box finds Mangala. He into Awani, and again Martinez with a big save. Going to be another Nottingham Forest corner, and it's one that Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to fling into the box, this time looking for the centre-back, and he just puts it over the bar into Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins goes out wide to Zaniolo, going to try and surely look for the overlap again. This time finds Estupinian. Estupinian into Ollie Watkins. He takes a touch, takes numerous touches and gets blocked off. He just cannot seem to find the back of the net. Yuri Tielemans now, who's been fairly quiet in the opening 45 minutes, looking to make a change here in the second half. And he plays a wonderful ball into Zaniolo, an even better ball into Ollie Watkins. And this time Ollie Watkins does find the back of the net. Well, he slides on his knees in celebrations, and what a brilliant, much-needed goal that is for the Englishman today. A brilliant ball over from Tielemans, and an even better through ball from Zaniolo. He laid it on a plate, and he didn't even need a touch to set himself. He just smashed it with his right foot past the goalkeeper, gave him absolutely no chance, and he gives us a 1-0 lead here at Nottingham Forest. All the way over to Estupinian. Wonderful ball here, really just to switch the play and open things up as Buendia now feeds it into Ollie Watkins. He's got his tail up here, as do the rest of the Aston Villa players. Fires it into the box. There wasn't the spearheading attack to win it back, but this time Douglas Luiz picks it up and strikes. What a strike it was, and what a fabulous save from the goalkeeper. Awani now has options up ahead of him, finds Mangala. He tried to thread a ball through, but Longley, on a very, very rare start for the Frenchman, does manage to intercept the ball, and now he can release us, and Leon Bailey tries to go past Sanguer, but doesn't manage to. Nuno Tavares to bring it now out of defence. What a run from him, and he drives down this left-hand side. Sacha Bowie comes across, Nottingham Forest corner, and it's going to be one again that Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to take, and again he's going to float this one into the box here, headed away by Tyrone Mings, only out as far as Divock Origi, but he doesn't take a particularly good touch, and now Ollie Watkins is taken out. Somehow the referee doesn't even blow for a foul, but we eventually get the ball away. Zaniolo, nice pass into McGinn on as a substitute, and Zaniolo gets it back from him. And look at this drive into the penalty area. He was trying to be unselfish and play it across to Ollie Watkins. Perhaps that was the wrong decision. A warning now for Nottingham Forest. Just 10 minutes remaining on the clock here for Nottingham Forest to try and get a goal. And remember, it is only 1-0 here, so we are hanging on by a thread. Despite all of the opportunities we've had, we haven't managed to make them pay. But Leon Bailey now is going to try and make them pay as he drives down the right-hand side. Feeds a wonderful ball across to Zaniolo, who somehow, some way, puts it wide into Origi. Danilo, well intercepted by Yuri Tielemans, and now we can try and break yet again. What a pass there from Leon Bailey into Ollie Watkins. He's just got absolutely nothing left to give. He's absolutely shattered leading the line, but it does not matter because the referee blows the whistle for full time. While those two celebrate, it was that man, Yuri Tielemans, who pulled the strings at the heart of my midfield in the second half. The Nottingham Forest players cannot quite believe what they have seen here today, but it is that man, Ollie Watkins. His goal is enough to prove the difference here today between the two teams. As at full time here, it finishes Nottingham Forest 0, Aston Villa 1. It's a solid display and another clean sheet for that man, Emi Martinez. In the absence of John McGinn, he took the captain's armband and he led from the back. He provided the foundation for a wonderful performance, and he will be delighted with the clean sheet. And the fans will be even happier because despite that win only taking us up one place to 7th place, we are now just 3 points behind a 4th placed Everton, and we are right in the hunt for those Champions League spots. Before we worry about the Champions League though, we got the small task of the Europa Conference League to focus on. But we make it look easy. 2 goals from Jimenez once again in Europe gives us a solid 2-0 win at home against Sepski OSK. It puts us in a commanding position in the group stage, and just one more point will officially confirm our path to the knockout rounds. Unfortunately though, we couldn't take that positive momentum back into the Premier League, as despite a late goal from Ollie Watkins, it was only enough to secure 1 point as we draw at home to Fulham 1-1. It keeps us in 7th place in the league, but we're now overtaken by Nottingham Forest once again, and now unfortunately we are 4 points behind Manchester United in 4th and 8 points behind the team that we will be playing next in the Premier League in Tottenham Hotspur. It looks like they're following the positive start they've had in real life under Ange Postecoglou here on this career mode, but for us it's a real opportunity to show that we've got what it takes to mess with the big boys, and because of that it is a return to my usual strongest starting 11. Martinez of course keeps his place in goal, Sacha Boey at right back, Diogo Carlos, Pau Torres and Estupiñán make up the back line, Kamara, Tielemans and McGinn start in the centre with Zaniolo on the left, Moussa Diaby on the right, and Ollie Watkins up front. Into Kulusevski on the right-hand side. He's being pressured and gives the ball away straight away to Zaniolo, and it's a horrendous start from Spurs here. Zaniolo looking for an option in the box, finds Ollie Watkins. What a strike, what a save. Doggy for Spurs. Nice ball into the path of Heung-min Son, who starts on the left-hand side, tries to just knock it past Tielemans, and in the end gives it to James Maddison. Nice little cut back into the South Korean. He's still got it, but gives it back to the Italian Doggy. This time it is Tielemans who comes across to make the challenge, and now he can release Moussa Diaby, who manages just to skip away from the challenge of the Tottenham defenders. Now Moussa Diaby can try and play a ball all the way out wide to Estupiñán. Pedro Porro has not read that at all, and Estupiñán drives into the box. What a finish, what a goal. Well, what a start here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. End-to-end stuff, but it is Aston Villa who break the deadlock first. Well, Tottenham all over the place at the back, and it's a mistake from Pedro Porro. He didn't read the ball well at all. A lovely ball through, though, from Moussa Diaby, and the left-back Estupiñán, the new signing for Aston Villa, was on hand to score a wonderful goal past the Vicario, the goalkeeper for Spurs, and he gives us a 1-0 lead, much to my delight. Højbjerg for Spurs, well intercepted by McGinn, and he releases Moussa Diaby down this right-hand side. The Frenchman continues his run into the box, keeps the ball, and he puts it into the back of the net just like that. What on earth is going on with the Tottenham Hotspur defence? Kulusevski, you could see in the corner of the picture just a second ago, had his head in his hands. Well, once again, they completely fell asleep, and this time it's Moussa Diaby. The pace of the Frenchman, just too much for the Spurs back line, and it was a lovely finish with his left foot, gave the goalkeeper no chance yet again, and again, to my delight, it's 2-0. Estupiñán. Nice pass into Ollie Watkins, who releases Zaniolo again, and Spurs are just totally open. This high line that they are playing, we are taking advantage of, and Zaniolo fires it high and wide. That was a big opportunity to put this game to bed within the first 36 minutes. one that Zaniolo just couldn't take, but Spurs are just all over the place at the back at the moment. Out to Kulusevski, cuts it back to Højbjerg, and now Kulusevski gets it back yet again for his first opportunity really to drive down this right-hand side. Instead he checks back inside, looks for the former Chelsea man in Morata, who has the ball and strikes, and he strikes past the goalkeeper to get Spurs back in this game right on the stroke of half-time. Well, from absolutely nothing, Spurs have scored. It was a wicked strike from that man Morata, and he will be delighted. It's 2-1. Doggy gets it back again. Spurs now have got the bit between their teeth at the start of this second half here. We had all the chances in the first, but we did not make them pay, and we've got to make sure that that does not come back to bite us here as we bring the ball forward, but Spurs intercept. I've got a feeling this is going to be a very end-to-end game here in this second half as Ollie Watkins brings the ball forward. He's tussling with the Spurs centre-back, and he was just inches away from getting away from Romero and perhaps putting the ball in the back of the net, but once again we don't make it count. And once again, Spurs can clear the lines. Maddison now the danger man into Morata, leading the line well for Spurs, and he just drives past Diego Carlos like he's not even there, into the box, looking for the cutback, but Carlos comes back across. Brilliant recovery defending, and now he can release Moussa Diaby. He can try and go past the Spurs defence. He releases Ollie Watkins. He stayed on side, and Ollie Watkins now to burst into the Spurs box and strike. Ollie Watkins restores our 2-goal cushion. That man is on absolute fire in recent times, and yet again he's found the back of the net. Well, I said it was going to be an end-to-end half, but my word, it has lived up to its name. Ollie Watkins, though, was released by Moussa Diaby, and look at that for a strike. Gave the keeper no chance. It's 3-1. Kulusevski for Spurs into Benson Core. Højbjerg has it now for Spurs. He's got options on the left-hand side, but finds James Maddison, the danger man. Lifts a lovely ball back into Kulusevski. What a touch, what a strike, what a save. Well, Spurs, with just over 15 minutes remaining, still looking dangerous. They've got a short corner here. They feed into Maddison, tries a couple of step-overs. It's Zaniolo, though, who defends brilliantly. And now he can try and hit them on the counter-attack. Has he got any options in the centre? He finds Kamara, who lifts a ball right the way over to John McGinn. He takes it down brilliantly, drives down the left-hand side. I'm going to look for a ball across into Diaby, headed away by the Spurs left back in Udogie, and then somehow Zaniolo still keeps the ball, strikes with his left, rebounds off the Spurs defence, and they get it clear once again. Son into Kulusevski, Morata. My word, this is end-to-end stuff here as Pedro Porro now tries to get away from Estupinian, cuts it back inside for Kulusevski, brings the ball forward, tries to get away from Kamara, releases Morata down the right-hand side, he cuts it back in for Son strikes, blazes it over. Moreno, on as a sub, finds Douglas Luiz, he turns brilliantly and tries to feed a ball all the way out wide to the right-hand side, but it's well intercepted by Udogie, but Buendia on as a substitute, wins it back well. Diaby now, tried to feed in Ollie Watkins. It was a brilliant interception again, and again we could have been in there, and it could have been 4-1, as Udogie now to bring it out of defence, as the referee blows for full time. Well, an end-to-end game results in another Aston Villa victory here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Another fine performance from that man Ollie Watkins as he finds the back of the net once again. As we secure another 3 points, it finishes Spurs 1, Aston Villa 3. And with that victory extending our unbeaten run so far this season, it also sees Estupinian score his first goal in an Aston Villa shirt. He's been an absolute monster since coming in at left back for us in the summer, already gone up to 82 rated, and I've got a feeling he is potentially going to be one of the best left backs in the Premier League by the end of the season. And speaking of the Premier League, that win against Spurs has lifted us right up into 5th place, and we are now just 2 points behind Manchester United, chasing down the Champions League spots. But with things looking up in the Premier League, I can't quite say the same thing about the Europa Conference League. We do not get the point that we need. We lose 1-0 at home against AZ Alkmaar, and it means it's going to come down to the very last game of the group stage for us to at least secure passage to the next round, let alone winning the entire group. And frustratingly, we do not bounce back in the Premier League, as away from home we only managed a point, this time against Bournemouth. But with us desperate to get back to winning ways, it's Manchester City who we host at Villa Park, with that man Jack Grealish, I'm sure, desperate to make an impression against his former club. There is only one change to my usual starting 11, and that is Konza coming back in at the heart of my defence, with Diego Carlos unfortunately picking up a knock, which rules him out for today. Erling Haaland, lovely little touch, tries to play it into the path of Rodrigo. Pau Torres tried to come across, and he's done a wicked job of defending that, has the Spaniard, because if he hadn't done that, Manchester City would have been clean through. Sacha Boey heads it down into the path of Yuri Tielemans, and now we can try and break on this Manchester City team. He's going to try and feed a ball across into the path of Ollie Watkins, well intercepted though by Kevin De Bruyne. Out to the former Aston Villa man in Jack Grealish, who again I'm sure will be eager to make an impression here at Villa Park in front of his former fans, and he drives down this left hand side. He's been chased by Yuri Tielemans, not chased enough though, cuts it it back in for Julian Alvarez. He now tries to cut back inside. He does just that. This time it's Sacha Boey who comes across, is bundled around. How on earth have City still managed to keep hold of the ball? Martinez almost lost it there. Haaland almost had his goal, but fortunately enough, we just about managed to get the ball clear. Out to Stupinian on the left-hand side. I'm going to try and switch the play all the way over to the right-hand side. What a fabulous ball that is. Sacha Boey plays it back across. No one in the box. Nathan Ake cleared it away. But my word, what a ball from Stupinian. What a signing that man has been. We now somehow keep the ball alive, though, with Yuri Tielemans. He plays it into Moussa Diaby, who switches it onto his left and strikes wide. Ruben Diaz for City. Well challenged by Ollie Watkins, and now McGinn has it. Plays it into Kamara. He feeds a ball all the way out to Zaniolo. Beautiful stuff. Zaniolo across. Looked for Moussa Diaby, who I think had just strayed offside. Yes, he had. But it doesn't matter for City. They defended that one really well and they clear their lines. De Bruyne now to bring it out of defence. He's got an option of Erling Haaland, who finds Rodrigo on the right-hand side. Has he got the pace to go past Pau Torres? Instead cuts back in for Erling Haaland, who feeds a wonderful ball into Bernardo Silva. And that is absolutely fabulous. Well, Bernardo Silva just ghosted in behind my defence and he celebrates wildly, and rightly so. What a fabulous goal. Well, I thought he'd strayed offside, but clearly not. Lovely ball and a lovely run and an even better finish. Martinez had absolutely no chance. And much to my frustration, Manchester City take an early lead here at Villa Park. That's a Stupinian, really nice touch and turn from him, and now he feeds in McGinn. He finds Zaniolo. Zaniolo into Ollie Watkins, turns, strikes, puts it way wide. Jack Grealish to start off this second half by just dancing his way round Sacha Boey and driving through the heart of my midfield. He somehow still has it. Kamara tries to put a challenge in. 3 men could not get the ball off him, and Haaland feeds it in. What a brilliant save from Emi Martinez to keep us in the game. Julian Alvarez for City. City now have their tails up here, and it looks like it's Rodrigo on the edge of the box. Feeds in Kevin De Bruyne, gets it back. Bernardo Silva into Haaland. Another huge save from Emi Martinez. It's going to be a corner here for City. 10 minutes into the second half, and they are in the ascendancy. They certainly look like they're going to grab a second here as Jack Grealish once again dances round my fullback. Julian Alvarez again into Diaz. Bernardo Silva this time comes across. Jack Grealish has the opportunity to put it into the box. Cuts it back though. Rodrigo now has it. Well intercepted by Yuri Tielemans. My word, City have taken complete control at the start of this second half. We just can't seem to get out of our own half here. Instead though, they go and give the ball away. And now Moussa Diaby can stretch his legs. Has the Frenchman got the pace to get past Sergio Gomez? No, he doesn't. That was a big opportunity for us as he was one-on-one. Wasn't able to make advantage though. And now Alvarez can bring it forward for City. Into Bernardo Silva, into Haaland. What a challenge from Pau Torres here. End-to-end stuff as we go and give the ball away again. Bernardo Silva now to get way from my midfield. Into Alvarez. Alvarez to strike. Another huge save. Rodrigo with the throw. Into Bernardo Silva. He's been chased down by Pau Torres, but Haaland strikes. And it's a good save yet again from Martinez. That man has kept us in the game so far in this second half. Now Moussa Diaby to release Yuri Tielemans. Yuri Tielemans to try and drive forward. He doesn't have the pace, but I'm going to try and release Ollie Watkins. It wasn't the best ball. You expect better from the Belgian. And now Alvarez can release Haaland. And that man, Haaland's got the pace to get away from my defenders. Look at that for a touch and turn. What a strike. Martinez cannot be beaten in this second half. How on earth are we only 1-0 down here? Haaland has absolutely peppered our goal. The rest of the Manchester City players have peppered our goal. But that man, Emi Martinez, has had an absolute worldie of a performance here in the second half. His saves have kept us in the half, but just as I say that, Pau Torres gives the ball away. And luckily enough for us, Haaland was offside. Trying to get away from the challenge of Bernardo Silva, does just that and releases a Stupinian. He releases Zaniolo down the left-hand side. Zaniolo has options in the box. Instead cuts it back to McGinn. He checks it onto his right and strikes. What a big save from Ederson. And it was the first save he's really had to make this half. Jacob Ramsey, on as a substitute, is going to take the resulting corner, fires it in. Just under 10 minutes remaining here as Zaniolo. What a header and what a way to bring us level here at Villa Park. The stadium goes absolutely crazy. It is absolutely electric here. What a goal! It is 1-1. Emi Martinez dances in celebration. He cannot quite believe it. Well, look at this. It's a fabulous corner by Jacob Ramsey, who's just come on. And what a towering header from Zaniolo. He just looped it over Ederson. He had absolutely no chance. It was brilliant. It's arguably the best goal he scored all season. Look at that. It's a wonderful header. Gave the keeper absolutely no chance. And somehow, some way, we're back on level terms. Well, there is just under 5 minutes remaining on the clock here here for one of these two teams to go and snatch victory. Is it going to be Manchester City? Is it going to be Aston Villa? Who knows? But Jack Grealish now feeds it into Bernardo Silva. He has got just 4 minutes of stoppage time to try and make something happen here. Weaves his way around to find Haaland. He finds Grealish, drives into the box. Grealish cuts it back onto his right. Sacha Boey with a huge challenge as Konza now will bring the ball out of defence. The referee blows for full time. What a game of football we've witnessed today. Well, the Aston Villa players walk off the pitch. They have got to be absolutely delighted. It was a real tough performance, but we had to dig in, and that man dug us out of a hole in the second half. It finishes here at full time at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 1. And whilst Zaniolo might claim the plaudits after a dramatic late equaliser, for me it was all about this man, Emi Martinez. If it wasn't for his saves in the second half, there would not have been a game to equalise for. I cannot remember the amount of times I've seen a goalkeeper make so many saves in a half. I lost count of the amount of saves, but that man has been absolutely sensational so far this season, and he continues his fine form. But after two back-to-back incredibly tough games in the Premier League against the likes of City and Spurs, we are about to face off against another one, as we are about to welcome this man's former club in Arsenal to Villa Park once again. And with fatigue continuing to creep through the camp, once again I do have to make several changes. Of course, Martinez keeps his place in goal, but Matty Cash will start on the right-hand side of defence. Diego Carlos and Tyrone Mings will start at the back, with Moreno on the left-hand side. Douglas Luiz is partnered by Buendia and McGinn in the centre of the park. Zaniolo starts on the left. Diaby starts on the right. And of course, Ollie Watkins starts up front. Gabby Jesus for Arsenal. Wonderful challenge by Diego Carlos. And he releases Zaniolo, who in turn releases Ollie Watkins, who drives down the centre here. He's being chased down by Saliba. What a brilliant piece of defending. But somehow, Ollie Watkins manages to keep hold of the ball, only to give it away cheaply to Jorginho. Diego Carlos into Alex Moreno, tries to go down the line, but it was well intercepted by Ben White, and now Arsenal have the ball with Declan Rice. He tries to play a ball back into the path of Jorginho, who brings it forward. Diego Carlos, though, that man has been brilliant so far in the opening 14 minutes, as he tries to release Ollie Watkins, who just took a little bit too much time there, and now Arsenal can bring the ball out of defence into Thomas Partey. He finds Mendy on the left-hand side. Mendy to try and go past Diego Carlos, who yet again comes across. A fabulous piece of defending. That man has been like a wall in the opening 20 minutes. Diaby now down the right-hand side. End-to-end stuff here at Villa Park. The Frenchman has got acres of space to drive into here, but he doesn't have any options in the box. Instead cuts it back. Ollie Watkins is blocked. What a block it was. Somehow we have not been able to take the lead. It's going to be Douglas Luiz, though, who's going to take the resulting corner. He's going to fire it into the box, looking for the head of the smallest man on the pitch in Moussa Diaby. In the end, Buendia will win back the ball. Douglas Luiz for firing, and again Ramsdale with a flying and acrobatic save. Somehow, though, Arsenal will get the ball away once again. Gabby Jesus into Declan Rice, and now Saka down the right-hand side. He's got the pace to surely to beat Tyrone Mings. No, he doesn't. Brilliant defending from the Englishman. And now he releases Alex Moreno. Again, end-to-end stuff here, but Ben White intercepts the ball well, and now Gabby Jesus to bring it forward. Mings, though, tried to come across. Doesn't do a good enough job. Martinelli into Thomas Partey. Oh, my word. Diego Carlos. What an absolute monster he has been at the back so far. Mr. Diaby looks for a ball round the corner into Matty Cash. Can't get there ahead of Saliba. Good defending from the young Frenchman at the heart of the Arsenal defence. And Martinelli just manages to knock it past Diego Carlos here. He's tracking back, but it's Gabby Jesus in the box. A big save from Martinez. And this time, though, it is Arsenal who managed to get onto the second ball. I believe it was Jorginho who managed to get there first. And frustratingly for us, Arsenal take a 1-0 lead. It was, in fact, Jorginho. Martinez, though, he could have done more. He just palmed it right into his path. Not the best goalkeeping from the Argentinian against his former club. He couldn't get a hand to it. And instead, Jorginho, much to his frustration, gives Arsenal a 1-0 lead. Matty Cash. Nice pass into Buendia. Looks for the overlapping run of Diaby. Diaby now to release Matty Cash again. And Matty Cash now surely is going to cut it back to Ollie Watkins. He does. Well blocked again, though, this time from the Arsenal defence. Martinelli to feed in Thomas Partey, who the defensive midfielder finds himself in the most advanced position. It is Diego Carlos, it's Tyrone Mings, who came across with another brilliant challenge. Those two centre-backs have been fabulous in the first half. Diego Carlos, lovely pass all the way out wide to Alex Moreno on the left-hand side, who checks back in looking for Zaniolo. Brilliant play here from the Italian, who strikes straight at Ramsdale. McGinn Oh, lovely little turn away from the Arsenal midfield and then goes and gives the ball away cheaply to Declan Rice. Douglas Luiz wins it back. Cannot win the second ball though. Jorginho, the goal scorer now for Arsenal, plays a nice pass into Saka, who just knocks it past Moreno. Cuts back inside for Gabby Jesus. He finds Thomas Partey. Well intercepted though again from the Aston Villa defence, and now it's a wonderful ball through into the path of Zaniolo. Has he got the pace to drive into the Arsenal box? Yes, he does. What a strike, what a goal, and it's deservedly so. It was a brilliant run from the Italian and an even better finish. It all started from a fabulous piece of defending though, right at the heart of my defence yet again, and a beautiful ball through from Ollie Watkins, but that man Zaniolo in that position made Arsenal pay. We're back on level terms, it's 1-1. Zaniolo again for Aston Villa. That man has clearly got his tail up here and he drives into the box yet again. This time cuts it back into Ollie Watkins, who takes too heavy a touch, and in the end the chance goes begging, but Buendia has it again, and this time blazes his strike high and wide. Zaniolo again has it. This man is on absolute fire so far, but Leon Bailey on as a substitute feeds a lovely ball out to Alex Moreno. He's going to try and cut it back into the path of McGinn, who takes a heavy touch but turns really well and then gets his shot all wrong. Declan Rice out to White into Timber. Being chased down again by Zaniolo, but this time manages to wriggle away. Lovely little touch from Saka, but Alex Moreno with a brilliant challenge, and now he can bring the ball out of defence. Can he try and release a ball into Leon Bailey? Yes, he can. On as a substitute, he's got the pace and the freshness to drive into the box. Strikes with his right, straight at Ramsdale, makes a bit of a meal of it, but eventually manages to jump on the rebound. Douglas Luiz. Nice pass into Zaniolo, and Zaniolo tried to feed in a ball to Jimenez, who's come on as a sub, but didn't manage to get it to him. Alex Moreno, though, with a brilliant challenge. The left-back has been really good so far today. Jimenez, though, turns really well, feeds in a ball to Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey strikes. What a brilliant goal with just 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Look at the celebrations. Look how much it means to the young man who's come through the Villa Academy. What a fabulous goal, and what a way to celebrate at the end of the game. Jimenez with a lovely touch and turn, laid it on a plate for the young Englishman, and it was a fine finish. He showed pure calmness and composure to just smash it past Ramsdale, and he celebrates in front of the fans. It's 2-1. Well, we've got just minutes, moments remaining on the clock here to try and hold on. My word, what a game this has been. What a second half this has been from Aston Villa. Can we try and hold on? The referee is looking at his clock. Is he going to blow? Yes, he does. Well, the Arsenal players are utterly despondent. They cannot quite believe it. Look at the celebrations from the Aston Villa players. It is that man, Jacob Ramsey, who will end the game, the hero here today, as his goal is enough to give us the 3 points. It's 2-1 at full time. It's a massive goal for the young man, and his first goal in the Premier League this season. And it's a massive goal for us, as another 3 points on the board bring us back into contention for that final Champions League spot. We are just 2 points away from Manchester United in fourth, with Nottingham Forest, the unlikely team, to find themselves in third place. What a season they are having. But that is it for today's episode, and what an episode it has been. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.